another wonderful, exciting episode with us. And I'm super excited to have you with us today, and I've been really looking forward to have you. If you don't mind, please introduce yourself to our wonderful audience.
All right, my name is Beatriz Eugenia Vasquez. I am a dancer and choreographer from Colombia who lives here in Los Angeles, California.
I love your accent. You said that with so much just kind of flamenco already inside of you. I love that. So what kind of dance do you do?
Well, I do a fusion. I originally started with classical ballet, and then I went into modern and flamenco and dance theater and vernacular jazz. So now it's a fusion of a whole bunch of things.
Wow. And then how do you do your own shows, or how do you?
Well, I dance with different dance companies in Los Angeles, and I also have my own dance company.
Amazing.
Where I create my own work.
So can I just sign up with your dance studio and I can come and take your class?
Yes, you could do that. I mean, I teach through the city of Los Angeles, but yeah, you can do that. You can come and try out my classes.
Wow. So where's your studio?
We are located in Hollywood and West Hollywood. Mm-hmm.
Hollywood, Los Angeles, California.
Yeah.
Yes, not Florida.
No, yeah, exactly.
That's amazing. So you teach all ages?
I teach all ages, mostly children. So I go from teaching from like 2-year-olds all the way up to about 18. The occasional adult dancer that comes and takes my class because they dance with my company. And then there's like a big gap, and then I teach seniors from the ages of 70 and up. I teach them yoga and fluid movement.
Oh, wow.
That's the name of the class. So it's a little bit of like dance, a little bit of Pilates, a little bit of, it's a mixture.
How fun.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
So do you have to be a senior, or can anybody take
For those classes, you can come and take the classes. You don't have to be a senior.
Oh,
but they're very gentle. They're oriented towards their age group.
Yeah.
Trying to realign them again, stretch muscles that they forgot they had, and things like that.
That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
So do they fill up pretty fast, or do we have a chance to get in there?
No, they're ongoing. So
Okay, cool.
sometimes we have a packed class, and the following week we have maybe 6 or 7. It all
Got
depends. But most of the people sign up for like the whole.
Wow.
They just keep coming every month.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you were telling me earlier that
Yes.
Obviously you've been doing this for a while, right? I think you started really young, or did you?
I did. I started dancing when I was 3.
Wow. Wow,
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
incredible.
In Colombia, my mom says since the moment I started
Walking,
I just wanted to dance. That's all I wanted to do. Mm-hmm.
That's incredible. So do you think you're born with the desire to dance, or are you just very gifted like that, or do you think it's something that?
I don't know. I think that children are naturally creative, and they have this. I mean, they're so curious about the world, and they're so curious about sounds and about movement and about color, And so I think because I teach children, I don't know. I feel that everybody has some sort of artistic energy running through them.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is, as parents and teachers, they kind of dim their light down.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not necessarily that you're born to be a dancer or something, but it's more like you're born with some sort of artistic thing. And everybody's different, and somebody's towards music or towards dance or towards painting or towards acting or yeah.
And so do you give the credit to your mom for letting you not dim that light, for letting you shine?
Of course.
Was she somebody who always kind of encouraged you to
She
go
was,
for it?
yes, she was like since the moment I was, it's like she allowed me to go into dance classes, and she was running around with my costumes and like putting on the makeup and whatever the dance teacher said was what she needed to get for me, she did it.
Wow, how fortunate, because I remember I wanted to take a dance class when I was a child, and my mother told me some real bizarre, I don't even know if she remembers me telling me, but she told me, the doctor said that you were born with a twisted hip and you can't take ballet. And now thinking back, I'm like, that bitch was just too lazy to take me to class.
Oh my God,
that's so incredible, how fortunate.
I have one thing that I always like complained to my mom, but she didn't tell me until much later, is that when I was about 4 or 5, we lived really close to a man who was from the Russian ballet, and he was in Bogota, at that time,
Wow.
teaching, I guess, at the national company or something. And she went to inquire about it. And he was like, well, yes, she can come to my classes, but you know that if she has a lot of talent, by the time she's 8 or 10, we're going to have to send her to Russia. And my mom said no. And she never told me this. She never told me this until now. And I'm like, are you crazy? And she says, because I saw the drive even though you were 4, and I know you would have pushed to be sent out there. And you were my only baby.
Well, she couldn't stop you because you're still doing your dream.
That's
you're
what
just
she
not in
tells
Russia.
me.
Yeah.
You sound just like her. She's
Yeah.
like, well, you're still a dancer. You're still doing what you were meant to be.
That's all that really matters, right?
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the yeah.
And I don't really see in Russia. I mean, I do see you here in sunny California. It's probably
Yes.
a little closer to Colombia, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the things that you feel that you were really, I mean, I know that you have your own dance company.
Yes.
That's so incredible because you literally get to do your own work,
Exactly.
right?
Yes,
You get to kind
absolutely.
of, your fusion, you actually
Yes.
get to integrate it into the
I
world and
do.
teach others
I
and do
do.
whatever you want to do.
Yes. So yeah, 319 dance art is like the love of my life. My mom says it's like is your husband, or I mean my baby. I don't even know how to describe it.
It's the love of your life. It's your creation. It's your passion.
It's my creativity,
Right.
everything that I have in my head, and I'm able to put it out there to the world, for the world to see. And it came out as of like a necessity to express myself, because I mean, when you're a dancer, you're doing other people's work and you're performing their work, and it's their vision, it's their creativity, which I love. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love to be someone's instrument. There's also something so gratifying about being the instrument for somebody else. I love that feeling.
Yeah.
But then there was something that I also wanted to express.
Yeah.
And that's how 319 came about. I was like, okay, I need to do things also.
Wow. And I've had the great fortune to see some of your shows, which were incredible. And you also did the Hollywood Forever. I think you do that every year, right? The big Day of the Dead event.
The Day of the Dead.
You
yes,
get to actually
I get to
do a show.
To perform. Yes, exactly.
Wow, incredible. Yeah, I really love it. I can see how, you obviously, you do other people's work, and then you still have so much to say, right?
Yeah.
So and especially as a dancer, you have so many different forms. And I know that you do this wonderful fusion where you really get to express in all different ways.
Yeah.
And then you just kind of get to interpret whatever is internally coming out of you
Exactly.
into this beautiful dance form.
Yeah.
And how big is your company? How many dancers do you have?
Well, the core company is made up of about 4-5 dancers, and then after that, then I have guest dancers that come in and out because they're busy schedules.
Of
Everybody's
course.
performing with somebody else, or
Yeah.
they have gigs. So depending on the project and what the company is working on, then if I need more dancers, then I call
Yeah.
friends and I'm like, hey, can you do this with us? We're working on this. Come as a guest, and then I invite them.
How wonderful.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Yeah, I can only imagine. And you're always so busy. You're always doing something. I know that. Like literally, you never have one
never
moment
stop.
of rest. Yes.
Yeah.
You're a warrior.
I just keep going and going and going. Yeah.
But it also fuels you, right?
Oh my God, yes.
It doesn't deplete you more than it fuels you.
No, it fuels me.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I do get physically tired, but I think that it's like the more I'm doing, the more inspiration comes my way. Because then I'm being affected by all these different energies and people and performances and gigs and music, and it's just.
I do believe, like, if you're in the flow of creativity, it's
Yeah.
like such a river that has like a natural kind of flow. It just never stops. It
Yeah,
just always,
yeah.
it always flows.
Yeah.
Always. It's never stagnant, right? Like
Exactly.
if you align yourself with that
Yeah.
river, it's almost like you have this infinite energy that just kind of keeps you going because
Yeah.
one leads to another,
One
and it's
leads,
never
yeah.
kind of boring, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Do you do you feel like self-care is a big part of being able to stay in that stream of consciousness? Like, I know that it's being creative and giving all the time is wonderful, but you also sometimes, like you were saying, you have to kind of listen to your body and be like, okay, I really, my body needs to, because I always kind of compare it to a computer, right?
Yeah.
The computers upgrade, but they need to shut down in order to do that.
Yes.
And I think sometimes with our body as well, in order to upgrade properly, we need to kind of self-care.
Oh yeah.
Do you have a remedy for that? Do you have kind of like a good
I
strategy?
do. Like I don't know, it's like before it was before I used to just go, and the more I work with my mentors and I listen to them, and as I've gotten older, I do take time for myself. I go swimming. Swimming is one of the things that I do, and that came as a result of an injury. And I never. When you're younger, sometimes you hear, like what older dancers say, "Oh, this injury was like the best thing that could happen to me because it allowed me for." And you're like, as a young dancer, you're like, "Oh my God, that will be the end of me."
Yes.
And then I had the injury, and then I had to reevaluate what do I need to do, and I went into my own research, like what can I do so I don't re-injure myself again, because the doctor had said, "Oh, now it's gonna happen on the other leg." I was like, what? So I went into research and I discovered, through swimming and eating certain things that I could take care of that, and so having the injury allowed me to slow down and to look into other forms of I don't know, like in that case exercise, for example, to continue doing the thing that I love to do and I need to do, and maintain everything,
and also be good to yourself
and be good to myself. And there's so much. I mean, this subject is so big. I wish, because I have so much. I listen to my mentors a lot. That's one thing. I always listen to older people and all the advice they have to say, and now I follow this advice where like I choose wisely, like who I surround myself with, which I know is gonna sound maybe cliche or I don't know, but so I sometimes, like, I'm out there and I'm performing and I'm working with so many people, but then I kind of just go and I retrieve myself and I stay within a close group of individuals that I can feel their energies in alignment with mine. Because when you're a performer, there's a lot of people out there that, and it's a lot of energies, and you can feel people's vibrations and things, and you just have to find the ones that vibrate on like the same level or the same frequency as yours. Because there's different types. And when you align with frequencies that are not this similar, then you start, it's weird.
I can see how energies are like food, right? It's just kind of, you gotta feed yourself with good energy. Otherwise, you just kind of go hungry and you're starving because you're just kind of like having to worry about other people and how they feel. That's awesome. No, I think that's really wise, actually, and it takes a lot of wisdom to just kind of like, also courage to kind of like stand with your beliefs and be like, you know what, I need to take care of myself.
I need to.
That's amazing. How wonderful that you found this equilibrium between being able to give yourself, obviously, unconditionally to the audience and your friends and your coworkers, but then also just kind of like know when you need to retreat and kind of do self-care.
Exactly.
I think that takes some time to discover. To really know, like, how do I not bleed to death? How do I not cut myself so short that at the end of the day I'm just there's no longevity in it.
Absolutely.
So, because you do want to have a career that's infinite, right? You want to do this in your 80s and your 90s.
Of course.
One of the most amazing shows that I will never forget is Marcel Marceau. The French mime. And I think it was just very recent before he died, like only a few years before he died. And he was like in his 80s. And his mind was very simple. But I just remember there was so much depth in the stuff that he was doing. And like especially as dancer, people say, after 25 you're done. There's no career for you. But then it sounds like you were really able to make sure that you do have a future in what you love for the rest of your life.
Absolutely. It's like you can listen to those comments. Like there's a lot of phrases out there that seem to resonate with people, and somehow I don't even understand how these phrases keep perpetuating themselves when there's examples of like people that are like still doing it. And that's, so you have a choice as an artist, like, do you listen to that negativity, or you say, you know what, like, no, I'm not gonna listen to that, and then you look for mentors. And like I always go back to the mentors, because then you look at them and you're like, oh, okay, so if my mentor is doing this and they're like 60 something, close to 70, you know what, I'm gonna look at that. I'm not gonna look at those phrases that people are saying out there.
Do you think having a mentor is really important? I know you keep saying that, assuming yes.
For me, personally, has been. I don't know, like, and maybe because dance is,
You just never done learning.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Dance is also so physical, so then you do need that kind of I don't know, feedback.
Yeah, I think we're so trained to think that we're all so self-sufficient.
Yes.
In this crazy world where everybody becomes a little more secluded.
Yes.
But I do believe, I always believe that mentors are the number one thing. The only way to really grow is to kind of see how other people did it ahead of you. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's
because
incredible.
then you get the inspiration and you get all these things from them.
I think it also keeps you humble and flexible in certain ways, right?
Oh yeah.
Just kind of like knowing that there's people out there who know much more than
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you just never done growing and learning and expanding.
Yeah,
that's incredible. So how do you what are some of the struggles that you feel like you're facing the most in a world where being an artist is not really a given schedule, right? It's not like you went to school and then you get out and you got an 8 to 5 and this is it.
Yeah.
Like, do you feel like you constantly have to like re-inspire yourself, or how do you? What are some of the things that you feel are the hardest to deal with?
That's oh my gosh.
Or we can even talk about things like in the past, like when you were 5 or 8, or your mom was the only one saying that you could do it and everybody else was like, you're crazy.
Actually, like the mentor thing, you have to be so careful, like who you work with too, because when I was in my late teens, I had a mentor, and we sort of parted our ways, and I'm still super grateful for everything that my mentor did for me, of course, but it was also kind of destructive because we were not communicating well, and she wanted certain things that I was, I guess I was growing. It was growing pains. Now I look back and I realize, because I wanted to become my own dancer, my own artist. She had an idea of the kind of artist that I should be, right? Very traditional from the ballet world, and I was starting to go into other areas, and then there was a disconnect. There was no support, and I was left stranded, and I stopped. That's the one time I stopped dancing for about 5 years.
Wow.
5 years. I completely stopped because I was devastated. It's my blue period. I call it the blue period because I just started classes, but I didn't dance.
Wow.
And it almost, had I continued in that mentality, I wouldn't be where I am now today, or I wouldn't have done all the things that came after. Yeah.
So do you think you stopped for 5 years because you started doubting yourself and your abilities?
I did, of course. It was like, oh my God, like I'm not good enough. What was I thinking? It was all this self-doubt, and it was really bad.
Looking back, do you think that was a really valuable time for you to even sit stronger in your beliefs that who you are today?
I think so. Now that I look back, is what made me stronger. Yeah, it's those 5 years of not dancing, and it's really funny because that was the period of time, maybe it was a transition I needed, because I had been in the ballet world for so long, which is so rigid and so strict. I mean, it's great, it has a lot of positive things to it, but then after that, for those 5 years, I was like a boat out on the ocean without direction. And the first class that I went back to was like a flamenco class. And the teacher was the complete opposite of what my mentor had been.
Who was that teacher? Was that actually the first time you went back to dancing?
Yes,
this is historical. That's exactly where we met. This was like... just, 11 weeks ago. No, this was like 11 years ago, right?
11 years ago,
wow.
Yeah.
I had no idea that you didn't dance for that long time.
And you can ask people. I used to come back home, and I used to throw my bag on the couch and be like, I hate this class. This class sucks. He doesn't give any feedback. He doesn't care about the students. Because it was just a different style, it was a different, and it was so different for me, because I was coming from somebody that tells you even how to move your head, how to hold your arms, how to do it, how to breathe, and this guy is just like, and everybody's like freestyling it. Oh, but it was what I needed.
Wow,
It was
I could
exactly
have
what I
never
needed.
guessed
Yeah.
that you did not dance.
I hadn't danced.
But-
Yeah.
By the way, this girl is the one I looked up to. Like whatever she did, I was trying to do with my two left feet. I was like, this is this it was
Yeah.
hard. That was not flamenco is not easy
Oh
whatsoever.
no! It's
Talk
very
about
hard.
rigid.
Yes.
It's so
Yes.
so much happening.
So much happening.
Just in your feet.
But at the same time, there's a, because it comes from that gypsy.
Totally.
So for me, that was,
Yeah.
but it was exactly what I needed at the time
Wow.
to transition out of that other world.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to know that you had the courage to go back to dancing because you literally, because of that, right? You
Yeah.
literally enriched the world with your incredible moves and your inspirational dances and
Wow.
having the company and like
Yeah.
giving that to other people.
Yeah.
Just kind of like, I always think
Yeah.
about people who are like, are that the beginning of those 5 years
Yeah.
where like, fuck it, I'm giving
Yeah.
up, I
Yeah.
don't know what I'm doing, I'm
Yeah.
doubting.
Yeah.
Like how really valuable those times sometimes really are
Really
to kind
are,
of go
yeah.
inside and
Yeah.
be like, what's really in here?
And I think that is the reason why after that, when I was able to come out of those 5 years, I came back out and I was like, I'm gonna try everything, I'm gonna do everything, I'm not gonna say no, I'm not gonna judge. If you want me to be a tree painted with like grain paint and stand on the corner, I'm gonna be the best performance theater tree that you've seen, and I'm not gonna be judgmental. So that allowed me to open my mind to this world of infinite possibilities of just being anything. I didn't have to be the sugar plum fairy. I didn't have to be, the sleeping beauty. I didn't have to be this classical dancer, but I could be an artist,
Yeah.
like a full-on artist,
I love
just like
that.
a dance artist.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love the fact that you just kind of removed all limitations for yourself.
yeah,
Because I think that's our box, right?
Yeah.
The limitations we set for ourselves. Like we're supposed to be a certain way. I have to paint or
Yeah.
dance or
Yeah.
make music a certain
Yeah,
way
yeah.
for people to really like it and love it and be
Exactly.
successful. And you're just kind of like, fuck those boundaries.
Yeah.
I'm going all
No,
out.
That's it.
And this is you today,
And
right?
that's
This
me.
is the
Yeah.
best version of you. Like you've never been this amazing, right?
I-
Because of all the failures and all the trials and all the errors and all
I
the
still have a little bit of doubt, don't get me wrong,
Well, but
like
it's
the
just
fear, but now I'm just like, I'm just gonna go through it. Go through the fear.
Do you think that that's the way to break through doubt and fear is just to kind of take action, just do it anyway?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
I think so,
Yeah.
yeah. Just like me thinking about it, sometimes, sometimes I wonder, like, oh my God, like, am I even right for this part, or what am I doing? And then I'm like, you know what? Oh, what's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
I mean, so they boo me.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, nobody died from being booed.
Yeah. Totally.
You have to
Yeah.
sort of think like that
Yes.
to survive, because otherwise all these thoughts will drive you crazy.
Oh, and it'll keep you locked up,
And then
you'll
it'll
never
keep-
do anything.
And you'll never do
Yeah.
anything. Yeah.
Have you ever seen that video with Will Smith? I'm sorry, I don't call him Will Smith, but he literally talks about that, how we're driven by fear, like
Yeah.
that he signed up to do skydiving
Yeah.
once, and he was like, oh, I'll just sign up, it'll be
Yeah.
fun, and then the more it got to the day,
Yeah.
he couldn't sleep at night. He
Yeah.
was like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. What the
Yeah.
fuck was I
Yeah,
thinking?
yeah.
And all that kind of stuff. And then he talks about being on the edge of the airplane and you holding on. You're like,
Yeah.
I'm never gonna jump. Like all those fears that led up to this moment
Yeah.
are like really real.
Yeah.
And then the moment you actually jump out, all that goes out the
away.
window. And that
Yeah.
freedom that you feel
And it's
when you're literally just like flying. He's like, why would I poison my mind with so much fear? When at the end of it, the result is so rewarding.
It's so rewarding. And it's something that you have to practice too. Because then the fear creeps back in depending on the projects and stuff, and you just have to talk to yourself.
Yes.
And be like, no, and it's the same thing. It's the same thing from like a few months ago. Just go for it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible. Do you feel like you have a good tribe? You set up a good tribe for yourself where you feel like you have this like network of people that kind of keep each other inspired?
I think so.
Good.
Yeah.
Do you think that's important?
Oh, that's very
Yeah.
important. It's very important to have a group of people that inspire you and that you feel comfortable with and that are doing their thing too, and and talking to it's like the wisdom that other person has to offer is so important.
And just for everybody out there who's going through these 5 years of downtime, take a class.
Yeah.
Go out there, jump off an airplane. Because this is how we met 11 years ago.
Yeah.
And you keep me inspired all the time. Like I look at your social media and you're just always doing so many amazing things. And these are the tribes. These are the people that keep you inspired. It's not even sometimes about a phone call. It's just kind of like, look, they're still doing it.
They're still doing it.
They're doing their magic and they're inspiring so many people. Like I can do this too, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
That's so incredible. If you don't mind, because I'm trying to keep these a little short, we're going to do one just random question, and then maybe we can tell the audience one last little secret of where they can find you.
Okay, perfect. Wow. Okay. Let's see. Is this one?
Yes.
That's one. Okay. You read it or I read it?
Please, you read it and you answer it.
Wow. Oh my goodness. If you could solve one world problem, which one would it be? Oh. Oh my gosh.
Think wisely. What is it?
What would it be? Wow. I think I know.
You want to share it?
Okay. Yes. If I could solve one problem, it would be inequality. And in every aspect, like inequality for women, financially. I think I wish that, but this is like a utopia type of thing where I think people should be encouraged to do whatever it is they want to do with their lives, children, and that there was no disparity or such a big gap between the rich ultra millionaires and like poverty, like that everything just came and everybody was like sort of at the same level,
Yes.
that everybody had access to everything, to education, to art, to healthcare, to everything.
It's so wonderful to know that if that it really is truly your inspiration for what you're seeking, that you're providing a space like that, right? Where you provide a space where you teach little children and you actually encourage them to have their talents flourish.
Exactly. So that would be my, if I could.
Wow.
Because
Well, you're doing it though. You're doing it.
In a way.
In your way.
In a way.
In your world, you're making that change.
I'm making that change.
I love that.
Yep.
How wonderful.
Yeah.
And I think for everybody who's listening in and viewing,
yes,
you're so generous to give away 2 free tickets for your next show that's happening in
September. The company has an upcoming show in September, and it's a tribute to Gabriel Garcia Marquez, the Nobel Prize winner. And so this is a project that actually I've been cooking in my head for like the last 4 or 5 years. It's something that I wanted to do because a lot of people don't know who he is a lot of times, and the things that they do about him is always more about his work, his literary work. But I wanna talk about his life. So this is a dance theater piece about the life of Gabo, and a little bit of look into Colombian culture as well. And so that's happening in September, the 2nd and 3rd weekend in September.
Wow, incredible.
Yeah.
So anybody who's listening in, we're going to have a raffle on our website where they can find you. They'll be able to find all your information, where they can see you, where they can find you. We're going to have a raffle, and we're going to be announcing who the winner is that gets 2 tickets.
And
incredible
the
show.
beauty of it is that it's dance theater, so it's all just dance and music. So anyone can come. It doesn't matter. You don't have to speak Spanish. Nothing. It's just come.
Wow, because it's not. There's no language.
No, it's dance theater.
Amazing. That's so incredible.
Yeah.
Beatriz, I'm so happy that you're
so
part
much,
of this, that you were willing to give up an hour of your wonderful time to sit in traffic and be here and do this with us. I love you so much, and you're incredible, and I can't wait to see more.
Thank you so much.
I'm gonna give you a hug if I can get it.
Yes.
Thank you, honey.
And thank you to you guys for listening to us.